All right, and we are live. So this is going to take a minute for people to hop on. Oh, viewers are popping in pretty fast. Awesome. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So this is the Broscience half hour of power live streaming, 9:10 p.m. East Coast time, 6:10 p.m. Pacific time. So we're just going to do questions for about a half hour. Those of you guys who have hopped on these before, you know how it goes. Ask questions in the comments section, anything health fitness related, and I'll just try to give answers. There's no set topical agenda of subjects, whatever you guys want to ask about. And typically takes around 2, 3, 5 minutes sometimes for someone to ask a question. So whoever is brave and wants to go first, I would encourage you to go. Glitch, I'm not sure what's glitching. So far as I know, it is working on my end. I think it's working on yours as well. Yes, it is. All right, first question of the night from Will Atkinson. What's your opinion on collagen powders? How many grams to take? So collagen powders have been in use for quite a long time. I'd say at least over a decade, longer than that. And what is collagen? Collagen is a type of protein. It's used predominantly in connective tissue, hair, skin, nails, even bone structure, inside muscles as well, in terms of muscle fascia. So that's what collagen is. Does taking collagen powder help with collagen formation? There is research that indicates that it does. It does not help with muscle growth, but anecdotally for connective tissue health, many people report that collagen helps their connective tissue, helps hair, skin, nail growth. I favor the anecdotal evidence in this situation more than the scientific evidence. So I'd recommend 10 to 20 grams a day. Do not count it towards total protein intake. It is not a complete protein. Collagen peptides do not, again, count towards protein intake. It's simply a supplement. You can add in collagen powder to any kind of liquid. You could mix into a protein shake. It mixes very easily, but 10, 20 grams. This question, high intensity training, I assume, or bro for over 60. I'm not sure what you're asking. Are you asking about high intensity training for lifting one set to failure versus doing multiple sets? I'm not sure. We'll move on. Is Trump gonna win? I believe that if it is a truly fair election, that yes, he will. If not, maybe not. Is there a protocol book recommended for shoulder health? Yes, I have one called AJAC's Guide to Shoulder Training. Send me a DM and I will send it to you. Thoughts on carnivore diet? Thoughts is not a question. Articulate your questions. Do you have a preferred time to work out each day? Any health physiology reason for that? I do. I prefer to work out in the late morning. And if you look up the research on circadian rhythm, of which there's a lot, your physical readiness is highest in the morning. Some research shows that your peak performance state is maybe in the afternoon around 2 to 3. Now, if you do have to train very early in the morning during, let's say, 6 a.m., that can still work. If you want to train late at night, there's people that make that work. Lots of things can work. But I think for optimal circadian health, the best time to train is either in the late morning or early afternoon. And if you can't do that, then just find a schedule that can accommodate your life, and always make sure to get enough sleep. Bro splits versus high intensity training. I mean, these are not mutually exclusive though. You could follow a high intensity bro split if you want to. And a bro split is not a style of training. It just refers to a schedule of training only one muscle group at a time. So again, I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Next question. I've been working out for 4 hard months. I've been working out hard for 4 months, at least, getting that hungry and losing weight and good food. What's the first thing you say I may be doing wrong? So you've been working out for 4 months, you're training hard, you think you're eating right, you're not losing weight. You are not counting calories and macros accurately, if you are counting them at all. Your problem is diet. You need to apply numbers to your diet. You need to quantify what you're eating. You need to follow a system. If you do that, you lose body fat. But relying upon hope, relying upon, I think I'm eating good, not enough. What are the best complete protein sources of vegetarians? There's only one, arguably two: dairy protein, which is fantastic high quality protein, and eggs. And that's it. Maybe you could say quinoa, but all plant proteins always have a lot of fiber and carbohydrates. So you have dairy protein and you have eggs. And if you don't eat either of those things and you're truly vegan, good luck to you. This is why I don't work with vegans. Thank you, King. Very welcome. Do you like Panda Express? I do like Panda Express, but there's only one thing I would order from Panda Express, and that is the teriyaki grilled chicken. And you can get that with the steamed vegetables or white rice if you want to have carbohydrates. And that's actually a very good bro meal. High protein, clean. You could still argue, what about seed oils? I don't care. It's grilled. It's not deep fried. It tastes good. The macros are excellent. You can get in 30, 40, 70 grams of protein if you do 2 servings, 3 servings even. And overall, if you're traveling especially, and you want to get in a clean meal, Panda Express is a good choice, specifically for those 2 dishes, or really that 1 dish. Is push-pull legs a good routine? Yes. One of my best-selling programs I've had over 4,000 people do is a push-pull legs program. They work great. Push muscles, pull muscles, leg muscles. You can repeat one of the days. Get double frequency each week. It's a very simple routine. It's understandable, easy to follow, easy to set up. So in terms of a schedule, if you are training 3 to 4 days a week, would I say it's the absolute best schedule, most optimal? Optimal doesn't exist. The best schedule is the one that you follow consistently and that makes sense to you. And PPL does that for lots of people. What's your take on TRT and hair loss before the hair? And I worry it's an apprehension. If you are genetically prone to hair loss, then going on testosterone will always make you lose some hair. If you are not genetically prone to hair loss, testosterone may have no effect at all. I've known guys who have used steroids for years. Their hair is great, no issues. Some guys, they run a cycle and their hair starts falling out rapidly and they're bald by the time they're in their late 20s. So it's very genetic. Been following for 8-ish years. Never interacted with the man. Thank you. Most important muscles to focus on as you go over 40? All of them. Yeah, there's no one muscle that takes precedent. You want to have strong legs as you age, absolutely, but you also want a strong upper body. You also want a strong back. What happens is as you age, as you go over 40, for many men, is that they find they cannot train upper body pressing as heavy. Rotator cuff can get worn out. So heavy bench press, heavy shoulder press might not be happening. At the same time, if you have injuries, some guys, they get older and their knees hurt, and then they can't train legs quite the same way. They have to make adjustments. Or maybe you get older and you've had back injuries, so you can't train back the same way. All that's individual. What I would tell anyone is that as you age, train intelligently, customize your training to your particular situation and your body. Yeah, when I talk about intelligent bodybuilding, what does that mean? That's intelligent bodybuilding. It's using science and common sense and proven practices and adjusting and adapting to your situation in order to make continual progress, or at the very least, maintain your standard of fitness in a sustainable manner. That's intelligent bodybuilding. How important is eating at consistent times? It is important because if you don't eat at consistent times, when do you eat? If your schedule is based on inconsistency and chaos, you are not a productive person. You're not going to be a fit person. I've never met anyone who is fit and in shape and healthy and they don't follow some kind of schedule. I've never met any successful person, period, who accomplishes anything who follows no schedule. Doesn't exist. Now, you can argue protein intake, it doesn't matter so long as you get in enough calories in the course of the day. Okay, you can say that, but again, in real life, when do you eat then? When are you going to recover? Are you going to be slamming 200 grams of protein at the end of the day because you didn't want to eat consistently earlier? Consistency matters in everything. Be disciplined. Is it a waste of money to buy over-the-counter supplements with green six Leah? It's a waste of money. It's definitely a waste of money. There are testosterone boosting supplements that work within the context of they can take you from low normal to normal or from normal to high normal. You're not going to notice any muscle building difference. You're not going to notice being leaner. You're not going to drop body fat. Some guys, if they have low testosterone and they get it to high normal levels, they'll notice they have more energy and they might have more libido, which is a good thing, right? But you're not going to have any kind of steroidal effects. Yeah. But these small changes of taking ginger, black pepper, fruit, magnesium, zinc. Let's say you take all the stuff and your testosterone goes from 650 to 750. It's not making a fucking difference in anything at all. Waste of time. If you really care about getting your testosterone up that much and you want it to be as high as possible, go on gear. That's what steroids are for. And I'm not telling you to go do anabolics right now, but if you really care that much, use gear, get gassed up, go that route. Otherwise, optimize lifestyle as much as you want, and your number is what it is. And if you do all this stuff and it's still super low, my testosterone is 200. That's what TRT is for. Hi, your fasting guide concluded women should not do. Can you elaborate? Fasting is not good for women because women are women. They have a fertility cycle. Women menstruate every month, and women doing fasting interferes with fertility. There is such a thing as fasting like a girl, but it's not true fast. It's doing a much shorter fasting window, if you can call it that. So no, I don't recommend intermittent fasting for women at all. If you want to explore that, check out the book Fast Like a Girl by Mindy Peltz. How to fix skinny fat if you like your diet and training is good. Beef, eggs, barbell, squat, bench, deadlift, press. I don't consider the barbell lifts to be effective for skinny fat individuals. I know some people will disagree, but I would say you're wasting your fucking time. Drop the barbell, go get stronger at body weight movements and dumbbells, machines, cables, Bulgarian split squats, dumbbell chest press, dumbbell rows, chin-ups, pull-ups, inverted rows. The barbell could still be part of your training, but skinny fat guys who typically have terrible strength genetics and getting stronger in sets of 5, you could do that for 6 months a year. You still look like shit. Train like a bodybuilder. Meaning train for muscle growth first in mind-muscle connection. Weight is entirely secondary. Is it good to use a sauna after or before workout? I always use it after. I don't know that it really matters. If you get really, really, really sweaty before you go to train, you're already dehydrated. So why would you do that before you go to train? I think the best time is after. Any drawbacks to fasted high-intensity cardio besides catabolism? Must be time for me not hungry first in the morning. No. I mean, the only drawback, as you said, if you do that, then you don't eat for hours and hours. That could have a negative impact on recovery. But if you are eating on schedule, it shouldn't be an issue. If you're designing a man resistance training program, would you recommend a high-intensity program over, say, Bros, but high training? I would talk to him, and I would do an interview the way I do with all my executive clients, and I would ask him what has worked for him in the past, what his pre-existing issues are. I'd look at his body fat, body composition, his all-time strength levels. I'd want to know his recovery, how much is he sleeping, what has worked for him in the past, what estimates his recoverability. And then based on that and based upon his available time to train, I would design some kind of program that follows, like I said, a schedule that works for him, that makes sense to him. That could be a bro split. That could be a PPL split. That could be an upper-lower split. That could be an HIT split. That could be 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, 4 hours a week. That could be a lot of things because there's no one-size-fits-all formula for anyone. That's how I actually do custom training for people. So the only thing I could say, if the guy's over 60, he wants to work out, don't train with too much volume that you can't recover from. And don't be stupid and go for like a 1-rep max on bench press every week. Everything else, variable. Did you love the Hulk Hogan speech? Was it fun? Harbinger of idiocracy. I thought the speech was fantastic. Politics in America has always been idiotic, and it's gotten more entertainment driven over the years. There was a lot of griping in the Republican Party. If you go back and look at the early speeches from the 1990s, 1990 RNC was much more dignified. It was dry and it sucked. Politics if you want people to be involved, especially populist politics, because Trump is a populist president, you want to be fun. You want it to be fun. And the specific policy positions, you figure that out later on with the smart people and you make compromises. For the general public, you just need content production. You need to capture people's attention. And that speech was fucking awesome. Best way to fix circadian cycles for years. Sleep until 30 a.m. I'm not sure how you fucked up your sleep that badly. I would completely cut out all caffeine. I would force myself to wake up at dawn starting tomorrow. I would force myself into a dark room at night. I wouldn't have any electronics. I'd turn off all EMF. So I'd make some serious lifestyle adjustments. I'd take some glycine, magnesium glycinate. I sure as hell wouldn't be up right now, fucking with blue light blasting into my fucking eyes if my sleep's that fucked. But I would make some circadian lifestyle adjustments, and hopefully that should get it fixed. And if it still doesn't, I would go do a sleep study and see if something medically is wrong. Is 2 or 3 Peloton rides good enough for cardio per week? Potentially. That's good. Any amount of cardio is good. Is that going to increase your VO2 max and get you into elite fitness shape? Probably not. But if that gets you to a healthy heart rate, healthy blood pressure, vitals look good, keep doing it. Do you think Biden would benefit from your program? He's too far gone. Way too far gone. Yeah, but once you got full-blown Lewy body dementia, there's no coming back from that. His brain is fucking Swiss cheese at this point. How do you know when you should switch to heavier weights to stick with more reps? So if you understand how rep ranges work, if I do an exercise and I start with a working set of 5, that's my hard set, 5 reps. Next workout, I do 6 reps. Next workout, I do 7 reps. Next workout, I do 8 reps, 9 reps. Oh, I'm doing 10 reps with a weight that was previously my 5 rep max. I've gone from a 5 rep max to a 10 rep max with that weight. Now it's time to increase the weight. That's what the 5 to 10 rep range means. That's what 5 to 8 reps means. That's what 8 to 12 reps means. You take a certain weight, you can perform a certain number of reps. You increase the number of reps. Once you hit the top of the rep threshold, you add weight and you go back down. That's the secret to gains, muscle growth, everything. Do that in your training and you'll see results. Can a vegetarian have an optimal diet? Fucking eat meat. Guys, I say this not to be an asshole. I just don't give a fuck about vegetarians and vegans. They always have these questions. So I'm a vegetarian or a vegan. What do I do for this? Go ask a vegetarian or vegan who's in shape and a trainer and gives a shit. Because I fucking don't. You decide to pick what I consider a counter evolutionary diet that makes eating more difficult, that it can be completely fucking unsustainable. If this was 10,000 BC. If this was hunter-gatherer society, you'd be goddamn dead. When civilizations switched over to agriculture, everyone got shorter and stunted and less bone density and probably uglier. Why the hell would you want to be a vegetarian vegan? It's for my religion. Great, cool. I don't give a shit. Again, go do that. I don't feel like fucking troubleshooting your problems. What's your favorite herd gadget? I just got a Garmin watch. The thing is awesome. The gadget thing's great. I don't think any of them are great. I've used all kinds of wearables and they're fun. They give you some data. People like numbers. You get to open up your phone. It's like a fucking video game, and you're doing upgrades, and you can this does this one up and that one down. I got a sleep score. Coolio. It's all externals. It's all external numbers. It's just tyranny of data. If you find it useful, fantastic. I'm happy people do. And maybe you need some serious lifestyle adjustments, and maybe you've been we're all swept up in the current modern digital maelstrom. This is taking over our lives. We're dreaming of scrolling when we go to sleep at night. All right. But I don't like needing any of that. I don't actually personally, I've tried lots of different devices, which I've used on and off. There's nothing that's become a staple in my life. If you cannot self-assess your own state of being and readiness through insight, through meditation, and you need a fucking device to tell you how you're feeling, you've lost your humanity. Do you think vegetarians are gay? No, I don't think vegetarians are gay. I understand the ethical reasons that people are vegetarian, but like I said, I don't feel like trying to figure out their problems for them. You commit to that diet, figure it out yourself. I'm 35 now, 5'10", 180. I love weight calisthenics. I've got pretty strong at it. Dips, pull-ups, very good. Is this a realistic training method to continue to my 40s and 50s, or my joints likely to give? No, that's very realistic to train. Now, at a certain point, you're not going to be able to add more weight with calisthenics. Yeah, everyone eventually maxes out with calisthenics, and you'll find out that, you know what, the next level I can achieve strength, I'm going to have to actually just lift some external weights. That said, if you can maintain that level of strength into your 50s, 60s, you're going to look fantastic. So keep doing what you're doing, and if you need to add some stuff in, or you follow some type of hybrid routine where it's weighted calisthenics and also free weights, absolutely you can do that. Tons of people do that every day. There's no rule that you can only train with body weight and that's it. You can use all tools. Is air conditioning important for sleep, or is open window actually good enough? It depends upon the temperature in the room. If you can get the room temperature down to 65 degrees by having window open, cool. If you can't and it's too warm, then fucking get an AC. This is America. We're not fucking gay Europeans with no air conditioner. Go buy an air conditioning unit. Mid-30s, get tired easily throughout the day. If you think testosterone's low, need some boosters. Bro, you probably just need more sleep, honestly. And again, these kinds of questions like, do you think my testosterone's low? Go get the fucking test. I've told the guys this now for all 7 years I've been on X. How do you know your testosterone's low? Go get a blood test. Go do it. That's you could ask me this question. Go get a blood test. Get your shit actually measured. And then if it comes back and it's normal, your problem is not testosterone. Your problem is probably just fucking laziness and poor nutrition and bad sleep habits. There's many times I've sent guys to go get their testosterone tested, and they're insistent that it's got to be low. It comes back and it's like high normal. And then they realize their problems are not testosterone. Their problems aren't here. It's psychological. It's a mindset. So go fix your shit. All right, next question. On protein consumption, how do you view red meat versus chicken, fish, especially with cholesterol? I think cholesterol is very misunderstood. Dennis Mangan shares a lot of research on this. This demonization of cholesterol and then having slightly elevated levels of cholesterol means you're destined for a heart attack does not appear to be accurate. So what I look at is HDL, triglyceride, LDL ratio. And if HDL triglyceride ratio, if that number is good, and LDL is within a relatively normal range, it's not super elevated, and blood pressure is good, and you get a CAC, and that's good, and your resting heart rate is 60, you're healthy. Look at all the numbers in totality. Don't only look at the cholesterol. Now, if you eat a lot of red meat and you have elevated triglycerides, and let's say you have low HDL, and you have metabolic syndrome, or your blood markers are not in functional range, okay, then make changes. But you make these decisions based on data. For sleep, does room temperature matter? Okay, bro, again, for sleep, let's not be retarded here. The ideal temperature for sleep at night is 68 degrees or lower. Okay, 68 degrees or lower at night in the room. If it's not at that temperature, if it's higher than that, your sleep might adversely be affected. What about a fan? Figure it the fuck out. Let's not be retarded here. Let's not be helpless. So if you need to get an air conditioning unit, if that means getting 2 fans, if that means opening up the fucking window, figure it out. What is even really the question being asked here? Honest question, I've Zen 6 milligrams in pretty much all day. Am I asking for trouble? Yeah, you'll probably have high blood pressure. So good luck. Have a take for travels. Weighted blankets are helpful. Some people really like weighted blankets. Some don't. It doesn't. They don't find it useful. That's one of those failed tactics. 50-50. You just have to try things and see. Maybe you'll love it. Maybe it does nothing for you. I don't know. Just go spend the money. Find out. Saul, you said walking lunges are better than standard forward lunges. Why is that? Because a forward lunge is not actually a lunge. When you step forward and then return, let's say you take a step and then you push back, that's not an actual locomotive movement. What you're doing is it's almost plyometric. You're stepping forward and then you're extending the quad and pushing backwards. That's not training your glutes or training your quads with much tension. An actual walking lunge where you step forward with one leg and then you go through full hip extension, knee extension, and then step forward the other leg. That, ironically, even though it's called, like a walking lunge, it's actually the same motion as a reverse lunge, which is the same motion as the walking lunge. A forward lunge is actually moving backwards, where you take the step forward and push back. So the names are all fucked up. My point being, though, a standard forward lunge is not actually a truly forward locomotive movement. It's not good for hypertrophy. It tends to bother people's knees. I never fucking programmed them. I wouldn't bother doing them. Which BPC 157 should you take? 6 years old. Typically, you can take 200 or 300 milligrams intramuscular. 200 to 300 milligrams. 200 to 300 mcgs injected subcutaneously. Rebel squat's good to work on as you approach into your 40s. Yeah, you absolutely can. Depends upon your body structure. Some guys have great squat mechanics, and it's good for them. Some guys, they do barbell back squats, but he had back injuries and keeps fucking with your back. That's just N equals 1. I don't tell guys not to squat. Squats, when they work, can work fucking fantastic. You have to find out what works for you. You think Seth Rogen is low TVs? I think Seth Rogen is a fucking cuck. I can give a fuck about him. Fuck that guy. Refreshing feedback here. Will you use AMAs consistently? Yes, I will. Recommendations for longer assault bike workouts. I wouldn't do longer assault bike workouts. I would do high intensity workouts. If you're using it longer than 30 minutes, I just assume you're doing cardio, aerobic cardio. What is the optimal amount of microplastics in my testicles? Probably 0, but we're all filled with microplastics at this point. It's like the meat. We're filled with microplastics. Your dad was filled with lead paint. His dad before him was gassed with a DHT. Every generation's got something that poisons them. Oh well. When's a good age for kids to start lifting weights? Typically around 10 or 11. But you don't need your kids to lift per se. You want them to be playing outside. You want them to develop motor skills, body weight exercises, be able to climb trees and run and sprint. You don't necessarily need to take an 8-year-old to the gym and teach them how to deadlift. Best place to get refrigerated. Limitless doesn't have it. I don't know, actually. If Limitless doesn't have it, you'll probably have to go deeper into the black market. So good luck to you, and don't get arrested. How can I maximize microplastics in my testicles? Microwave all your food in plastic containers. Can you make a link to that post you wrote recently about the female birth party? No. Go find it. I don't save any of my fucking posts that way. If you read something that I wrote and you thought was funny, fucking save it to your phone. Bar Zero program when? August 1st. Yeah, that's been heavily delayed. I've had a lot on my plate the last 2 months. All right, gentlemen, and the 5E girls watching this, we're at the 30-minute mark. We want to keep going. We got more questions. How are we feeling? I probably cussed a little too much in this one for YouTube, unfortunately. It's late. Any decent leg press machine for home gym setup? Not really, no. Leg presses, if you're going to get a good leg press, it's going to cost you money. There is no such thing as a high quality but cheap leg press. Can you name a better 80s or 90s martial art movie than Best? The Best? Can't say Bloodsport. Can't think of anything. I don't really watch martial arts movies from the 1980s. Hard Boiled? But wait, is that 1990s? I think it might be 1990s. With Chow Yun Fat? Yeah, I think that's like 91. Have you seen anyone get shredded while drinking regularly? No. Have not. You could be lean. You could take a lot of drugs to make up for the drinking, but you're not going to get single-digit body fat drinking regularly. If you have kettlebells, there's a reason to own dumbbells too. If you like using kettlebells, I don't like using kettlebells. I don't recommend using kettlebells. I don't not recommend using kettlebells. I think swings are overrated. The kettlebell, because it adds a fourth joint to the body, you can do swings, you can do snatches, you can do presses, you can kind of do rows. They're not my first, second, third choice as a training tool. I'd rather own a set of dumbbells. That's not to say they're useless. Some people love kettlebells. If you like using them, use them. But yeah, I do. Like I said, I think they're a bit overrated, unless they're your thing, right? I'm quite tall, and I sometimes struggle getting the bar to my chest when I get pull downs. You're not going to get the bar to your chest necessarily, because getting your bar to the chest is dependent upon your bone structure, your limb length. If you have very long arms, you're not going to. By the time you fully contract your elbow, it may not be touching the chest at all. So using that anatomical marker as a cue for good form doesn't work with tall guys. Are you a fan of super slow? No. Use kettlebell for stuff like goblet squats and stuff like that. Yeah, you certainly can. I mean, kettlebells work. Don't get me wrong. Kettlebells work. You can do goblet squats. You can do snatches. You can do swings, of course. You could do lunges. You could do shoulder presses. You can do stuff with them. But like I said, it adds that fourth joint to the body. It's a little bit unstable for certain movements. You can't make the same progressional weight jumps that you can, let's say, versus dumbbells. For pressing exercises, they don't work that well. And then if you do want to make progress going from lightweight to high weights, you just end up needing to own a bunch of kettlebells, which is really not much different from owning a bunch of dumbbells. Yeah, I know some guys. I've had friends. I know guys like in the military where they love using kettlebells. They're very fit cardiovascularly. You also would never really know they lift weights. Being really good at swings, kettlebell swings, ballistic movements. That doesn't put on much muscle. Yeah, that said, it could be a substitute for deadlifting. Not quite, but at least it's a hip hinge. It's loaded. It's dynamic. That's good. Trains some fast twitch muscle fiber. What are you listening to in the gym? You think it's better workout with music? I listen to music most of the time. Sometimes I don't. My musical soundtrack is sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's ridiculous. Sometimes I've had workouts where I played espresso fucking 100 times in a row. So favorite one on looking programs fix skinny fat physique. You could get my program, which I've sold for 5 fucking years, the Skinny Fat Manifesto. Send me a DM, I'll send you the link, and you can buy that. You suggest chiropractors. I do. Chiropractic care, the manipulation of a joint where it results in that pop click and has some sort of neurological reset effect, which can release, inhibit pain, restore function. That's a real phenomenon. And do you need chiropractic care to be healthy? No, but is it worth trying? I think it is. I've used it for a long time occasionally. I've always found it helpful. Are ab wheels bullshit? No, ab wheels work great. They train the anti-extension function of the abdominals. Very challenging. So if you have one, good tool to use. Will daily lifting be part of your homeschool routine? Well, daily outside activity and playing and exploration, bodily movement will be part of homeschool routine. Doesn't mean lifting. Just got your silly fat loss this week. Thanks. Do you only? And I don't know what the question is. Oh, here we go. Do you only use wired headphones? No, I use Bluetooth headphones. They're like a super cheapy pair from Amazon. They're $20. How should I introduce fast movements in my routine? Having sprints, jumps, good rate. You'd start very slow, and you wouldn't really be moving that fast. You'd start at a very low level. This is where I'd say a higher person trainer, honestly, so you don't just hurt yourself. How many pulps in a row do you think is suppressive for a normal guy? 10. Do you suggest custom orthotics? No. Get your feet stronger. An F followed by an S is an easy thing to slur. Get your feet stronger by lifting barefoot, by being barefoot more often, by strengthening your feet with foot exercises. You shouldn't need orthotics to be able to walk around. Favorite appetite suppressant? Black coffee. If someone is using a rude tone with you in public for no reason, what's your go-to response? That never really happens to me, honestly. Yeah, I have absolutely zero problem absolutely blowing the fuck up on people. I will take it from 0 to 1,000. But I also very, very, very rarely ever have to do that. 99.9999% of the time, people are very polite with me. So you wouldn't coach a vegetarian guy, but nope. Not wasting my fucking time. I don't coach vegetarians. What exercise do you see people hurt themselves the most? Oh, that's a good question. I could say literally all of them. I would say the barbell lifts are the ones where I see people not necessarily catastrophically injure themselves the most, but where they train themselves into pain. So squats, I see a lot of bad squatting. Deadlifts, I see a lot of bad deadlifting. Bench press, I see a lot of bad bench press. If you're going to use the barbell, you have to use it with proper technique, complete range of motion. You have to know how to set up. A lot of guys just don't do that. The squats are shallow. They're deadlifting. Their back's running over. They're benching. They're trying to bounce the bar off their chest. The bar path is uneven. There's so many things that go wrong. If you see me eating orange chicken at Panda, which is left, I could give a fuck about what you eat. I got cholecystitis for doing leg press instead of squats. Yeah, here's the thing with training legs. If you find an exercise and it's building muscle and you're getting stronger and it's working for you, leg press is fantastic. Keep doing it. Not everybody needs a squat. You can do Bulgarian split squats and leg press and build awesome legs. Why can't barbell lifting be used for more hypertrophy? Since you said by trainers, you can use the barbell as part of hypertrophy training, but I can tell you right now, if you're a skinny fat guy, you've been lifting a long time, and you're doing sets of 5, and you're wondering how come I don't look better, it's because the barbell's not working for you because you have shitty genetics, you have a shitty physique in terms of proportions and symmetry and genetic response, and doing global movements that distribute the force across all of your muscle groups, which don't respond very well to lower training in the first place, it's not going to work well for you. You need to use exercises with more targeted muscular recruitment and tension, bigger range of motion. You need to train with some higher rep ranges. You need to train with some more volume. And at that point, that's not well suited to the barbell, typically. That's going to be more so using dumbbells, body weight machines. The barbell could be an exercise as one of the movements in an overall program, but it's not going to be the foundational structure for the program itself. So you could keep asking me questions about how to solve your skinny fatness, or you could unfuck yourself, send me a DM, and buy the skinny fat program and do that. Or waste your fucking time and be asking the same bullshit questions in 6 months from now. Choose one. Cold showers, cold plunge, cryo, sauna, steam, what's legit, what's vaporware if legit. Sauna has the most evidence and it works and it's great to do. Cold showers, cold plunge, cryo, if you find it helpful, do it. Fucking go for it if you like to fuck around. You know, my question I always have for guys is how much fucking time do you have to do all this shit? Do you have time to spend 3 hours a day on fucking recovery? Are you really training that hard? I tell you right now, 99.999% of you, you're not professional fucking athletes. Nobody's paying you to go to the gym. You're working out 3 times a week, 4 times a week. You need 2 hours of recovery work. I need a cold shower. I need a grounding mat. And I need red light therapy. I need a sauna. And I need fucking a vibration plate. You don't need any of that shit. You need fucking 7 to 8 hours of sleep and waking up in the morning. Now, if you want to spend some money or you got the extra time on your schedule to sit in the sauna for 20 minutes, fucking go for it. But take care of the big shit first. Big rocks first, little rocks second. The big rocks are your sleep and your nutrition, following a schedule. Then if you have time, all right, go stand in the cryo room and freeze your balls off. Go sit in the ice bath and watch your fucking nut shrivel up and get fucking hard doing that. Because your life's so fucking easy, you need to insert necessary stress to make it feel challenging. What else do guys like to do? I don't know. I have a sauna because my wife wanted one, and I spent the money on it, and I fucking love it. And so I sit in at night sometimes, and I get to sweat a lot. Do I need it to live, though? No. What exercises should people stop doing? None of them. You have to remember, 80% of Americans don't even fucking work out. So telling people you need to stop doing this exercise, no, you fucking don't. That's just bullshit clickbait. You could be doing bad exercises, but bad is better than nothing. ATG split squats and your people are my favorite. Actually, that's a great fit for me. Fantastic. I run upper lower 4 times a week and D1 soccer on Fridays. When should I have my 2 spring days? I don't know. That could be Sunday and Thursday, or maybe that could be Wednesday and Monday. Just space it out so the stuff doesn't run into it. Space it out so you have enough recovery in between each day and it's not overlapping where you're tired for your game. Any health effects of being someone vaccinated? Shame. Are there health effects of having sex with vaccinated people? Probably not. My teenager wants a rebounder. It's definitely a waste of money. Maybe it's fun for them. I don't think it's a useful training tool. It's very gimmicky. Are there things that make it more challenging for older women to lose weight? Premenopausal? Yeah, because your hormones slow down. Women can also require HRT, hormone replacement therapy as well. Most women don't ever really train hard, lift weights intensely. So they get older, they just start gaining body fat. They got the flabby skin. They've never really worked out hard as in cardio. So then they have to, not to say they can't improve the situation. They absolutely can. But it's the same thing for a lot of older men. They've never actually trained hard and they lose all their lean body mass. And now they're just soft and weak. And metabolism is slower as a result. You can't slow down. You can never slow down. Always be moving. Working out the tibialis muscle with tib bar with time and effort? No. Biggest crock of shit that's gotten popular the last few years. If you have shin splints, maybe it's helpful. Maybe. If not, you're doing the flexy thing with the foot. Go do some fucking cardio. I got one of those and it was fun. I'm like, oh, this is great. I used it for 6 months. Had some people try it out, and there was some improvement in some people who had shin splints. They thought it helped. Very anecdotal. But spending your time training your fucking tibialis muscle when you could be doing so many other more useful things, no. That said, the people that make those bars, they made a lot of money on them, so good for them. Should I sprint in my leg days? You could sprint first. You could, if that works for you, if you have a track available to you. You'd have to try that out and see how the volume goes and how well you recover from that. If you were a dictator and could ban one food drink from American diet, which would you choose for a healthier country? That's a good question. I think I would prohibit any food being fried in seed oil. Just that. If you go to a restaurant, you cannot fry with seed oils. That's it. What is the cure for shin splints? The cure for shin splints is that you are running too much and you're overdoing the running volume and you're running on too hard of a surface and you need to dial back and run on a better surface. Cut the volume down, change the surface that you run on, get some soft tissue release, rub that shit out. And that might take some time, but that's what you do. Should I invest in this shake weight? I'm going to go just one. Get as many shake weights as you want. I bet in like 50 years, there'll be a market for shake weights. They'll be worth thousands of dollars. There'll be this vintage piece of equipment owning the original shake weights. They'll be like, what's something stupid that used to exist and now it's like really valuable? They'll be like DeLorean cars. Crappy car, but they're so niche and stupid and cringe that now they're actually a collector's item. Do you still do meetups? I remember you did at one point. Bro, I've had 3 different fucking events the past year. Where the hell have you been? I've been fucking in Vegas. I've been in Miami. I've been in New York. We've had 50 people show up. Yeah, I still do meetups. Oh, fuck. No, you know what? This is good. This is a good ego check because it's a reminder that no matter how much you promote your shit, people don't see it. Because the algorithm is never showing any of your content. It's never showing to 100% of people. It's showing to like 2%. So I could post about a meetup for 4 weeks and send out emails for 7 days in a row and tweet about it 100 fucking times, and then someone's going to ask this kind of question: did you do a meetup? Yeah, I spent a couple $1,000s on a meetup in New York. Had a bunch of people come. Apparently, I didn't post enough about it. Good lesson for me. You can never advertise too much. There's no such thing as too much marketing. What is the solution for Canada? It's turned into a shithole. The solution for Canada is for the United States to conquer Canada and make it like the 51st through 55th state. Canada shouldn't even exist as a country. Canada is a slave to Shaitan, the devil. That it exists as all is sort of like this, liberal, progressive. I don't even know what you call it. Test zone for the worst ideas that fucking shitlibs ever come up with. Terrible, stupid country. You ever go away from your team, just have a remiss fun day in the gym, like Death Party? Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I follow a very structured routine in regards to the exercises that I do. I have like a rolling schedule in my head. I remember every movement I've ever done. I can tell you the day, the weight, the piece of equipment. But at the same time, exercise training is for spontaneity. It's for fun. It's a form of self-expression. It's not just about intensity. It's not just about following a logbook. The way that you like to move, your personal inclinations, that comes out through your time spent in a physical environment. That comes out through how you train. That comes out through your choice of sport, obviously. What you choose to do is physical passion pursuit. So yeah, I've had days where I go to the gym, I go to train. Even fight gym, same thing. You go entirely off script. Creativity and novelty and going into the unknown that way, those are the most memorable days you'll ever have. Does Kamala Harris have a chance? Fuck no. Thank you, Selena. See, the girls always have good questions. And then you get the guy questions who are fucking asking you if their air conditioner is going to make their room cold. And then I just want to throw my fucking laptop like into the wall. But such is life. You do AMAs. I used to think it was just like a me thing. I'm like, do I just have stupid followers that I get dumb questions? But then you see guys go on Reddit, you see famous celebrities, you see guys like Elon Musk, they'll have these open forums of questions, and they get the same stupid questions. So you get the full spectrum of human inquiry when you do these kind of things. What do people spend way too much money on pursuing fitness? I have seen many people where they spend a lot of money on gadgets, on trinkets, on they get the R ring, they download various apps. Maybe they spend a lot of money on blood testing and they sign up for health services. You get a membership at a cryo place, for example. Uh, there's lots of things. There's lots of things within the health, fitness, wellness sphere that you could pour cash into. But the one thing they don't do, they don't train hard. They don't train with any intensity. They don't follow any kind of real program. And then their diet is just a fucking mess. Is creatine a must-take? Use hydration powders. No. Here's the creatine. It's cheap, and it works. And there's boundless scientific studies on creatine. I'm not going to name all how many studies. Look up creatine on exam.com. Creatine has decades of evidence. I don't need to talk about whether it works or not. You take 5 grams a day. It costs you maybe $100 a year for a 1-year supply. And that's it. It's just very brain dead. You don't have to think about it. Is it worth it to invest in an air conditioner just to say I don't have a room temperature IQ? Yes, it is. Carnivore diet, too extreme. It helps my GI, but damn, it's hard to stick with. Yeah, so I've said this before. This is actually a good question. This has been one of those. I know this is a lesson for me to not do these when I'm tired because I just get fucking exasperated with everything and I get snarky. And then I start slurring my words and my attempts at sounding intelligible, they begin to fail. But our carnivore diet, I have noticed this for a long time that people who have autoimmune disorders, maybe they have Crohn's disease, maybe they have lupus, maybe they have unexplained hives and breakouts and skin irritations, and they go on carnivore diet and it fixes everything. It's quite amazing. That said, just eating high protein and fat, that's not necessarily sustainable. I do think long-term it causes, I won't say it causes damage. That would be the wrong word. But there is increased metabolic stress from the lack of glucose. And what you see over time, because from the higher fat intake, you can still become insulin resistant. You can still have disordered glucose levels. And in that situation, carnivore, whatever it's solved for, it also has caused some problems. So it's not necessarily sustainable, although there are people that do it. What do you think of cluster sets? I actually have a program, MSP program, Muscle Strength Power, which is based upon doing cluster sets. Cluster sets work fantastic. It's just this is the challenge with talking about training, right? Doing 1 set to failure works. Doing 8 sets of 5 works. Everything works. What do I do? Try things. You got to experiment. N equals 1. You are your greatest work of art. And cluster sets, for example, I love cluster sets, doing double the sets, half the reps. Some guys don't like training that way. Maybe the workout takes longer for you. Maybe you just find it excessive. Okay, then don't do them. But cluster sets, one of my best programs, MSP program. It's based upon doing clusters. Guys love it. I've had so many guys use the cluster program, and bench press goes up, and squat goes up, and deadlift goes up. They're more muscular. It's like, holy shit, this is amazing. Why didn't I do this before? You don't know till you try it. How do I help my Indian friend to work out? He will do anything but that. I would just be extra racist. There's nothing like good old-fashioned racism to spur people into action. So think of just like the most insulting, derogatory shit you could say about out of shape, soft brown, curry munching Indian men, and just lay it on them all the fucking time. Make them feel like a real piece of shit. And then tell them, you know what, bro? I'll stop abusing you when you start going to the gym. And you develop some self-respect. So good luck to you. All right, we're now at 55 minutes in. This has gotten a lot of views. Damn. Everybody must be up right now waiting to see if Biden's still alive. Or dead. I suppose we'll find out hopefully sometime this week to see if we still have a living president or not. What a weird week it's been. So 5 more minutes, people. 5 more minutes. Oh, guys, if you're commenting on the post on X, I'm not seeing any of those questions, so I'm not going to answer them. I don't know why people always do this. They comment on the video. They don't comment in the video. They comment underneath the video. That doesn't show up. Okay, here we go. TRT for guys that just want to get jacked. Dumb. Fucking dumb. You go on testosterone replacement therapy if you have legitimate medical need. If you don't, you don't need it. If you really want to be that big and strong, you want to get fucking huge, then go on an actual steroidal dose of testosterone. You know, going on TRT, that's become a new thing that guys do. I'm not on steroids, I'm on TRT. Bro, your fucking test levels are still way higher than they'd be naturally. Your free test is fucking quadruple would be naturally. Your TRT dose is 250 fucking milligrams. Don't bullshit. That's become very popular for this industry now. I'm barely on anything. I'm just on TRT. Okay. Yeah. Big fucking thumbs up there. It doesn't make any real difference. Guys are full of shit. So yeah, that's a waste of time. Just go full bore. Don't go at all. What do you think of athletic greens? Waste of fucking money. You have 3 minutes. So whatever pressing questions you have, get them in. Let's check our X feed. Is Biden still alive? Yes or no? Do we have any updates? How do we get you on Rogan? I'm not interesting enough to be on Rogan. I'm very honest about that. To be on Rogan, you have to be a very mainstream cultural figure. I'm not at that level. Best source of caffeine? Coffee. You have 1 minute. Favorite X follows. Just look at who I retweet often. Water fasting for 36 hours. Why? Water fasting isn't bad. That's not the right way to think about it. My question is, why are you water fasting? What's the goal? What's the point? What are you hoping to learn about yourself? I wouldn't recommend that for fat loss. I assume there's some spiritual reason, some personal pursuit of truth within yourself you're hoping to discover by doing that. What? That's for you to answer, though. Greatest bodybuilder of all time? I think that's an easy question to answer. Arnold by far had the most cultural impact. That I don't think you can compare him to anybody. Yeah, is there anyone that's had more cultural impact than Arnold that's been a bro? No. So that'd be Arnold. For autophagy, okay, what are you expecting to happen? What are you measuring that you think you need to do a 36-hour water fast that's going to what? Cure what? Solve what? What's the objective before and after effect? Because it sounds cool? That's not a bad reason to do something. If something sounds cool, fucking do it. But just recognize that you're doing it for unclear reasons, which is fine. Sometimes the reasons become more clear after the fact. Should I visit India? I don't know. Should you? What are you hoping to get out of it? Thanks for the Q&A. Very welcome. Happy birthday. It was not my birthday. It was my son's birthday. If you're a young person, say 14, you're going to lift weights, focus on body weight exercises. Both. Guys, body weight exercises, calisthenics, lifting weights, they're not mutually exclusive. I don't know why people think this. You have to choose one or the other. No, you don't. Training your body, intelligent bodybuilding, is using a wide variety of tools, understanding biomechanics, really learning about yourself. And training is a process of self-discovery and self-knowledge. And whether that includes body weight or free weights, there's no rules about picking one or the other. So if I had a 14-year-old, we're going to go to the gym, lift weights. We're going to do all the things. We're not just going to do one thing. Hope that helps. All right, people, good talk. Hopefully this was constructive and was as entertaining for you as it was for me. I will talk to you guys again later in the week. Adios.